Maurice Sodja from the Clair Saints joins us, the quarterback, an All-Canadian last year. He's an American player coming up here to Canada to play. We're going to find out a little bit more about his football story. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing good. Okay, so take me through this. You are from Kentucky, right?
Yes, Louisville, Kentucky, born and raised. Been there my whole life.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah,
Big basketball country, as far as I
yeah, it
know.
is.
There's
It is
obviously
big
football.
basketball.
Okay, yeah. Did you play basketball growing up too?
It's crazy. Growing up, originally until about the fifth grade, I thought I was gonna basketball was my route. I was a basketball player first. That was my route until about the fifth grade. I switched over to football and I fell in love with it there.
Okay, so where did you get your start? Where was that first memory of football? Where did you first sign up? Like, how did you fall
Yeah,
in love with this
so
game?
it was I've always played backyard football with my brother, kids in the neighborhood, and everything. And I was always pretty good at throwing the ball, running the ball, kind of everything. I was always like pretty athletic, so that was always an avenue for me. But I liked basketball better. I didn't really want to get hit at the time. I wasn't too fond of that. But my neighbor, he was on a little league football team, this called the Louisville Packers, and he said one day he was like, "Man, just come try, come see what it's like." And I went out there and I fell in love with it ever since.
Were you hooked right away?
Right away, like day one, I was hooked. I just loved everything about it, the energy, everybody coming together, trying to call plays, trying to scheme stuff. I just loved everything about it.
So then you go home and you say, "Mom, I want to play football." Is mom on board, or is there a little bit of negotiation that needs to take
Now,
place?
she was on board because my older brother was already playing football in middle school. And now, when he first started, it was a little skeptical. She was a little scared, but by the time it was me, I turned, she kind of was already okay with it.
Yeah. Okay, so you have an older brother. He played. Did you
Yeah.
ever play on the same team? Did you get that opportunity to play together?
In high school, he was a senior when I was a freshman, so I didn't play varsity my freshman year, so I didn't really get to play with him. But I got to watch his senior year from the sideline. I got to travel around with him, so we didn't get to actually play together, but we have had some experiences together.
Yeah. Has it always been quarterback for you? Has it always been that position? Did you play anywhere else?
Well, I've always been able to throw, so like quarterback was always in the back pocket. But when I first started that first year, I played safety and wide receiver. That was my first thing I went to, and then the next year I switched to quarterback, and it kind of stuck there.
Was the coach surprised that you could throw once you threw when you actually got in a game and threw the ball? Were they like, "Oh, where have you been?"
Actually, no, because when I first got there, I mean, we were all throwing the ball, and I was the second string quarterback, but
Okay.
I was a starter at receiver and safety. But so it wasn't a big shock. It was kind of just like, hey, we need a quarterback now, and I was like, I'll do it. So
So there's a few miles in between Louisville, Kentucky, and Windsor, Ontario. How does
yeah.
somebody like you get hooked up in Windsor, Ontario, of all places?
Yeah, so I played a couple years in college. I didn't really get to see the field because of grades. I was ineligible, so I was trying to take a shot and see if I could get play overseas somewhere. And I actually did have a little bit of talks in that, but then I got contacted by LaChance, and he gave me the rundown of college. How they've been going the past couple years. The opportunity I would have if I came out here. So, and I liked everything he said, and that's how I'm here.
It's been a wonderful relationship with the Saints and St. Clair College as well. It
Yeah,
must be really refreshing that you can play. You can take classes if you want to. It must be a great
right.
atmosphere.
Yeah, as soon as I got here, I mean, they welcomed me with open arms. I mean, I got here, they got me right in my room, they got me right into classes, they got me working now. They've been real welcoming. So all I can do is say thank you for giving me the opportunity.
How often do you talk to your family back in Louisville? Make sure that you're
Oh,
okay.
all the time, all the time.
Okay.
We talk chat weekly, daily, sometimes. All the time we talk, just talk about football, talk about school and everything. Catch up. My brother's had two kids, so we talk about
Mm.
the kids. I FaceTime, see my nephews. So I'm still in touch with my family for sure.
Who's your biggest fan now? Is it mom? Is it your brother? Or is it your nephews now?
I think it's my brother. I think it's always kind of been my brother because like he's always seen the progression. So like he's seen it from build from me being young to now. So like he's always been right there rooting me on.
Last year you were an All-Canadian. This year you're averaging over like 300 yards, both running and passing. What's stronger in your mind in your game? Is it passing? Is it throwing the ball? Or is it running?
I think what comes more natural to me is running the ball. I mean, I
Mm.
think I've just been an athlete, but my passing game is definitely no slouch. It's right, but it's right there with it. So if you ask me, I'd say I'm pretty even. But you ask some other people, they might say I'm a little better runner. Some people might say I have a big arm. I'm a little better deep ball thrower. So it varies. It depends on who you ask. But me, I say I'm a true dual threat. You got to worry about both.
And you okay with the Canadian field? Obviously, you're okay now. This is your second year, but
All right.
when you first got here last year, I mean, when you first looked at the field, you're thinking,
Yeah.
why is there 1.5 fields here?
The first thing I'm gonna tell you, when I got here, I stepped foot on St. Clair's field, and I was like, "This is way bigger. It's a lot bigger." But honestly, it plays to my favor. I have a strong arm, so it lets me stretch the ball out more to my guys, let my guys make plays with them.
Is this more of an exciting year too? Because the Canadian Bowl is going to be somewhere in Ontario. You got to win the conference to host the Canadian Bowl. So the team that wins has that automatic berth into the
Right.
national championship. That must be more exciting for you too, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, it's in all of our heads. We all talked about it, like win the OFC, and we're there. So
Mhm.
it's been big on all of us. I mean, we all know that we have a very good team, and we wouldn't be nothing satisfied with nothing more than a national championship this year. That's what we talk about every day. That's what we strive for. That's what we're getting ready for every day. So, yeah.
Head coach Mike LaChance calls you the smartest player he's coached, or one of the smartest players he's ever coached in his 21 years in the Canadian Junior Football League. How does that resonate with you?
That makes you feel pretty good, you know. Honestly, I've always been told that I was pretty smart when it comes to the game. I mean, I take my time, I do my film, I study my coverages, my offenses, my everything. So I do what I need to do off the field to make myself prepared to be on the field. So it feels good to hear that, it's working.
How does your football story continue once you're done in the Canadian Junior Football League? What's next for you?
Hopefully, I get a shot at the combine after the season. Hopefully, I put up good numbers there. If not, if I can get signed, if I can go use sports, or if I can go back to the States. I mean, honestly, it's really just whatever the best option is for me. So I'll just take it as every day by day and take it how it goes. Really.
Well, soak it all in for the rest of the year and enjoy this season of the Canadian Junior Football League. And thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.